Hey guys, and welcome back to Regrets It, Brexit Britain, a country where the politicians are so corrupt that on the 5th of November, one of their own tried to blow them all the hell up. Oh, actually, that's a true story. And also, welcome back to By Any Means Necessary. Thank you so much for all your messages you sent me, and a special thanks, yeah, to everyone who signed up to my channel. I feel so blessed with so much people that have signed up, so thank you so much for that. I'll go through all your messages, and I'll answer as many as I can, but I will like all your messages for definite. So, we are, we're knee deep, right, into sleaze. Dirty, stinking sleaze, knee deep right up in there. You know, I've just seen an interview here with Boris Johnson. He's just given an interview at COP, right? And do you know something, right? I want to know, yeah, if you Brexiters, right, have come to terms, right, with the sufficient amount of damage, right, that you guys, because you know Boris Johnson, yeah, had to answer questions as to whether Britain is corrupt on a world stage. Do you know how embarrassing that is? That's really embarrassing, proper embarrassing, right? That our leader has to answer questions as to whether this country is corrupt. Can you believe that? Right? That is where, yeah, that you guys have taken this country to. Right? I don't know. I don't know if you know. Even as nationalists, you've got to feel ashamed. Even as nationalists, because you know that like you know Putin, yeah, and Xi Jinping will be quick to just throw that in our faces anytime we open up our mouth about Russia or about China. Just throw that in our face. You're corrupt. What are you talking for? All your politicians, they're all at it, right? You know that's the thing, right? At least with Putin's just like, oh, I don't know anything about cup of tea that this man did drink. I know nothing, right? You know, opposition leader gets shot outside the Kremlin, and Putin is like, oh, must be accident. He walked in front of bullet. Nothing to do with me, right? And now, right? You see, because you see January the 6th, yeah, in America. You know, every opportunity Putin gets, yeah, he just throws that in the Americans' faces. Throws it in their face. Right? They can't say, what are they going to say now? What are they going to say on the world stage to people like that? When you're corrupt, when this country, yeah, is so corrupt, right, what are you going to say? Can't say anything. Do you know what I mean? Can't say anything. And you just listen to all the politicians just squirming out of it, right? I don't know if you saw like Sir Ian Duncan Smith, right? You know, because one of the LBC, he must be coming out of Parliament or whatever yesterday. One of the LBC reporters asked him about corruption, right? And he was just like, "Don't even question me, peasant." He didn't actually say that, but what he said was, "That's a stupid question." Right? Is it? And then today it turns out, right, that Ian Duncan Smith, right, has been trousering 25 grand, right, from a hand sanitizing company. Now, I wonder if they got one of the government contracts. What do you think? See, these guys here, they're all rotten as fuck. Simple, right? They're corrupt. They're unbelievably corrupt, right? You know, all you have to do is just look in the cabinet, and like everywhere you point there's corruption everywhere you point, and if there's not corruption there, there's incompetence. Every single place you look, right? These guys internationally, right? These guys have made us look stupid, corrupt, right? Unbelievable. Just really is just unbelievable, right? And then you take, I saw, I saw, I see, just want to say this quickly, actually, because Jeffrey Clifton Brown, he's another one, right? I see an interview with him, right, where he's talking about how he made the mistake in the vote. Do you know something, yeah? I honestly do not understand how any of these people are in parliament. I don't know how anybody has voted for these Tories. Right? You know, listen, I've never been a Tory, but you know, I don't think you can get worse than this lot. Right? You know, because this lot have no clue what they're doing. They have absolutely no clue. Right? You know, you've got people like Dominic Raab, yeah, who will come out and say, well, it's down to the constituents, right? You know, down to these people, knowing that, you know what, a lot of these places, yeah, like oh god, what's his name, Jeffrey what's his face, Sir Jeffrey what's his face with the one with the baritone voice, yeah, because you know a lot of stuff has come out about him today, right? And he's been taking he took like while we was all on lockdown, he was on lockdown in the Virgin Islands, right? And say, well, you can really help your constituents from there, right? You know, I can guarantee you, yeah, that all the Labour politicians, yeah, was probably in their communities working for their communities, right? And why it is right that these people want to vote for people, right, who you know what, it's like, well, I'm going to be in the Virgin Islands, right, working for the government over there, right, and they're paying me £1 million to do that. Right? You get 82 grand as an MP. You know, I just say, you know what, with them people, yeah, you know, I just think, you know what, go off and be a barrister or be a solicitor, or do that, be a Queen's counsellor, do that, right? Leave, you know, because really, right, your politician, if they're not in Parliament, they should really be in your local ends. Do you know what I mean? You know, helping people with what's going on, rather than right trousering thousands, you know, hundreds of thousands or millions of pounds in some cases, right? You know, but these guys, they use that position because you know a lot of these guys that's the position what they're using, right? They're using that position as an MP, right, to enrich themselves. That's what they're doing. And they've been doing it. They've been doing it for ever since. Right? And for the life of me, as I said, for the life of me, I can't understand, yeah, why anybody in this country would vote for that, right? Would vote for that level of corruption. Right? You can't tell me, yeah, that immigration, right? Seriously, the whole immigration thing. You've got to really say, you know what? Actually, we can't be voting for this level of corruption, right? Just and you know all they do is just dangle immigration in our faces all the time, because that's what they do. Is dangle immigration. Oh yeah, well you know we'll get rid of all the immigrants for you. We'll take us out of the EU. You'll lose your business at the time, but don't worry, there won't be so many immigrants over here. Tomorrow is what tomorrow's the 11th, right? Which means that a lot of the care home staff, yeah, are sacked from tomorrow. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. But you know whether or not, yeah, they've got a plan to say, you know what, we're just going to flood them with immigrants. We're going to just start, apply to the EU to get a lot of immigrants to come over and do those jobs. So good luck with that. And so let's speak about some Brexit, right? Um, Lord Frost, right? If you notice, yeah, his tune has really changed, right? Because he's been slapped the fuck down, right? All this, we'll trigger Article 16. We'll trigger Article 16. Nah. Told you. Because they couldn't trigger Article 16. Right? And now, what's happened now is the Americans have said to them, you know what? Don't even start keep mentioning that no more. Right? You need to stop that now. That's what the Americans have just done. Just slapped him down. Just said, you know what? You need to stop that. That's it. Done. Stop it. Right? Don't keep threatening to trigger Article 16 because you're not going to do it. You can't do it. Right? That's what's happened. So the Americans have just slapped him down. So this is the position what you Brexiters have put this country in. Right? You're voting, right, for people who will trouser tens of thousands, scores of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of pounds in their pocket, trousering, right? And the very same people, yeah, are voting, right, to take away £20 from the lowest earners in this country. I mean, you tell me, because I guarantee you, right, if you look at every single one of them conservative politicians, right, who have who have been trousering, thousands of pounds, right, on top of their wages, I guarantee you that all of them, right, voted to take £20 away from the lowest earners. Guaranteed. But you know what? You universal credit Tories, right, carry on voting, right, against your own interests like some damn racist motherfucking fools, because that's all you guys are. But so anyway, so we were talking about Brexit. So yeah, so now they've been slapped down in the same way, yeah, that Britain, we've been slapped from France to the USA, right, and I'm sure that Australia's had a bit of a kick as well. Right. The New Zealanders are a bit too nice, right, to be kicking us, but they've probably got a much better deal, right, than we could ever have got from them. Right? Because right now, yeah, you guys have turned Britain into one of the weakest places in the world. Right? Just a national laughing stock. Right? The French are taking liberties. The Americans are just telling us, this is, all of this is what we tried to avoid. We didn't want you to see Britain naked, because Britain naked, yeah, is not a good place. It's not a good sign. It's not good, right? Because it shows the rest of the world. You know what? Actually, I don't even know why they call themselves Great Britain. You just call yourself Britain from now on, right? And this is exactly this, right? Is what we try to avoid, right? The Americans just making fools of us, right? Telling us what to do, when to do it, right? You don't hear, like, ages ago, Nancy Pelosi just said, you know what, yeah? She just said straight, right? If any bullshit starts happening in Ireland, yeah, that there's not going to be no trade deal, right? But you know something, yeah, you Brexiters were too stupid to listen to that, because that was when Trump was in, when Trump was saying, oh, you got a fantastic trade deal, as if he could just give it. He couldn't just give it, right? And now, right, we've got the Americans just slapping us down, right? We've got we're being made to look like fools by the EU. France is just saying to us, something, yeah, you do this, this, and this. Get the fuck on with it. All these places, right? This is exactly what we tried to avoid, right? Where people are just looking at us and just saying, Britain, they're nothing. Look at the people who didn't turn up to COP. Didn't turn up. I guarantee you, if that was in another country, right, they'd have all turned up there. If it was in one of the other G7 countries, they'd have all turned up there. All of them would have turned up. But they don't need to turn up for us, because you know what? This country, you've turned this country into a nothing country. Right? And I hope you're really motherfucking happy with yourselves, because said you turned it into a nothing country. That's what you've done. Anyway, guys, this is By Any Means Necessary. I'm DMC John Ribbs. It was really nice to speak to you guys. Comments below.